What's up everybody, I'm Abatage and welcome to episode 6 of Twin Stick Tuesday. This is the final episode of the series, and what better way to finish it off than with one of my all-time favourites, Renegade Ops by Avalanche Studios. Renegade Ops is an isometric story-driven action twin stick, which is a weird combination, especially after 5 episodes of arena twin sticks. But while Renegade Ops may look quite different from the rest, it still plays and feels like a twin stick in all the right ways. Renegade Ops consists of 9 main campaign levels to play through, as well as 3 additional levels in the Cold Strike DLC. The DLC is worth getting, as it extends the game a fair bit, but we'll look at that later. To play through the campaign levels, you have a selection of 4 core renegades, as well as Gordon Freeman himself. They each have their own special attack. Armand has a defensive shield. Diz fires a disabling EMP. Roxy rains down missiles with her airstrike. Gunner can devastate enemies with his heavy gun. And Gordon summons his antlion buddies. On top of their special abilities, each character feels slightly different to play, on account of how their vehicle handles within each level, making it necessary to get used to each character's differences to effectively use them to their strengths. As you play with each character, they gain XP and level up to a max level of 45, which allows you to unlock and apply up to 4 upgrades at a time. This adds another element to the gameplay, as you must choose from defensive upgrades that affect health, offensive upgrades that affect your weapons, and tactical upgrades which can greatly increase the power of that character's special ability. This light customization of each character can be fun to play with, and finding combinations that suit your playstyle best as you blast your way through each level, taking on hordes of enemies. The levels are large and open for you to travel to any point at any time, but you're kept on a certain path through primary objectives that must be completed within a time limit, or else you fail and must restart at the previous checkpoint. This is a nice way to keep you on track, and offers some replayability as each level sprawls just that bit further than you're able to reach in a single playthrough, and multiple attempts are needed to uncover every hidden corner. Alongside the primary objectives are optional secondary ones, that usually consist of collecting a certain number of items that are located off the main path around the level. These secondary objectives are a great way of pacing the game, as you're constantly balancing primary and secondary goals in order to complete as much of the level as possible. So by now you've been watching some footage for a little while, and you've no doubt noticed one of my favourite elements of Renegade Ops, the destructible buildings and structures that populate each map. Sure, there are set paths that you have to take and areas that are inaccessible, but the amount of props that can be destroyed simply by driving through them adds a fun and tactical element to the gameplay. Of course, there are the standard left stick move, right stick shoot, but you also have your character's special ability on a cooldown, as well as secondary weapons that have limited ammo, like a rocket launcher, a flamethrower, and a railgun. Each with limited amounts of ammunition that must be replenished by obtaining pickups that drop from defeated enemies and structures, along with health pickups to replenish your health. There are also pickups to upgrade your primary weapon to one of 3 stages, which is essential in some of the later levels, but you'll lose the upgrades and any secondary weapon you're carrying if you die at any point in the game. Finally, there are extra lives hidden in each level, which might make all the difference on some of the harder difficulty levels. But in Renegade Ops, one thing remains constant: you have to keep moving. There can be any number of enemies attacking you at once, so staying in one place will almost assuredly get you killed. With this in mind, it makes the destructible buildings useful, as driving through them can be the best way to clear yourself a path and make some space to keep moving while you take down tougher enemies. But the main thing that sets Renegade Ops apart from the others in my list of favourite twin-stick shooters is the way that story is integrated into the game, and takes it far from being yet another arena twin-stick.
I'm done with this farce. If they won't do something, then maybe I know some people who will.
The actual plot is fairly straightforward and doesn't take itself too seriously. More often than not, the comic book style cutscenes in between levels are simple parodies of bad, over-the-top action movies. Tongue firmly in cheek.
Welcome aboard Renegade Air. LVA warheads should be kept in the overhead compartment.
The fact that Renegade Ops doesn't take itself seriously at all makes its story enjoyable and fun to go along with. Even if it is a basic villain versus hero schlock.
You think you have won? You have accomplished nothing! Nothing! For this, more of your cities will be turned to ash!
So in addition to the main 9 campaign missions, there are 3 extra missions that make up the Cold Strike DLC, and continue the story further. You also get access to 2 more Renegades to play as. Blazemo with his Incinerator special move,
More flavor tanks. You know the drill, people.
and Crystal, who can deploy a shield for defense. The Cold Strike missions are a nice add-on to the vanilla campaign. However, most of the assets are recycled and recolored from the originals, this time using a blue cold palette instead of a red fiery one. But there are enough new enemies and environmental differences to make it interesting and compelling to play, so I definitely recommend picking it up to extend the experience of the main game. Speaking of extending the game, there's also local and online co-op, and leaderboards for each level. I haven't played the co-op personally, but I've seen it done by others, and it seems like one of the most entertaining ways to play the game. Overall, Renegade Ops is a whole lot of fun, and offers a compelling reason to play through its campaign multiple times with each character, as you level up and unlock upgrades that help you own each level. It looks great, it plays great, and it's definitely worth a place in your twin stick world.
Buckle up, Renegades. This is it.
So that's it for this series. I hope you enjoyed these 6 episodes and found out some more about the twin sticks I've featured. Head on over to the channel to find the entire playlist. There are links to each game in the video descriptions, so check them out and have some fun twiddling those thumbs. Thank you so much for watching and having fun with me. Bye!